friends, and welcome to Workers and Resources. What the hell is up with the soundtrack? Is it... Oh, fine. No, you don't. The music doesn't want to play along. Now I've broken it. Ah, damn it. This. Okay, fine. Screw that then. Or something. Yes. Welcome to EHRM number 4. Believe it is. That icon is just no, it's not just bouncing. It started up. There we go. Yes, it's the 30th of January of 1965. Was it? Has it been two or 3 years since we were last here? I think, and well, it took. It was a bit difficult to get out of debt, but we managed through pumping the power plant to quite a decent level of utilization. And we have also gotten the coal heap as it's full. That is this thing, the steel mill, and it's not actually that far off. We have all the stuff, 1,000 workdays. And from now on, it should be pretty smooth sailing. We can decide what you want to do at this point. Yes, now we're established here. Now we can decide what we want to do with our little Soviet Republic. Do we want to build vehicles and sell? You can get a lot of rubles for the Western vehicles here. An enormous amount. Or you could do, we could become an oil export. You could make an insane amount of rubles or dollars or so if you wanted to exploit these things. This resource. Nuclear fuel. Yes, nuclear is also not a completely uninteresting path to go. It isn't. And also aluminium. I think it's extremely profitable if you can keep up with the chemical demand. The chemicals are real bothersome to make in any quantity. But if you're up for that, then certainly aluminium. Also a way to maximize this number. But we're a bit more basic here. Yes, we're really prioritizing this steel mill. It's imperative. How's it doing? A typical year here last year was it's February. Okay. We almost broke even. Damn it. Only $403 deficit. That's incredible. I'm stunned. And a lot of it was steel. Fuel is quite a bit to food. Bitumen, yes, I've been building a lot of roads for the greaterment of this place. Boards are real cheap, and also we have there as well. This Krav Lev, King Lion, Krav Lev, premium brewed lager. The thing with this was this was the cheapest beer I've ever seen, I think, at the State Monopoly store, and it's off to a great start because it didn't even open properly. Oh, damn it! I almost cut myself there. As this was 7 kronor and 40 öre, I think. So like €2.60 per liter or something. That's almost reasonable. Cheers. And it's it doesn't taste that cheap. It's fine. It's actually pretty good. Maybe. Is this the steam been finished? Ah, damn it. Wonderful. No. Stop. We don't have anything quite yet. Okay, so we need coal and iron to get this going. But we now have the possibility to make steel, and iron should be the next priority then. 74 tons of steel. How much do we have? 43. I mean, we might as well get going on it. That's it, we're not importing any more steel. This is the last steel that we got. Iron mine. Yes. A bit of that is what we'll have. No, yes, we're going to have to buy iron. Refined iron. Yes, we're going to have to buy that for the time being. Can we afford anything? Is there anything interesting from the Westerners? What's well, there's these people here. There's Scania Vabis. It's 21,000. Do you want to spend money on that? You could just have one of these. Also, it's a dumper that we want. Quite important. 15,000, and you do 16 tons. But yeah, I think that's more than the Easterners do. One could select dumper here. Yeah, it's the best one. There we go. Now you take care of. Already know where to get coal, and you will get. You get everything from there. Yes, you now get iron too. Yes, and you bring that to the steel mill. This might be chaos. Unload coal and iron, and keep. How much do they take? 150 tons. Okay. Yes, that's another. The next priority then is these things. The conveyor engines, conveyor belts here for the coal. That will make things much easier. And I already prepared here a second. An aggregate storage for coal ore, and a second coal ore processing plant if we ever wanted to really get this place going. And also a bus platform, prop one, wanted to pump out. But then these people are going to be quite sad. These people living here, they are going to be fine with. I mean, we're not going to be churning out thousands of tons of steel here. It's only for our own need. At least for the time being. Maybe also sell a bit if we need any money. But we seem to be doing fine with the electricity. We seem to be making quite a decent amount with that. And we can almost keep it reliably staffed. I was thinking that this should be a better situation nowadays, but it apparently is not. Things might not be so hopeful. You still haven't managed to get any coal or iron to this place. Is this perhaps the iron? Oh, that's just... Yes, it is. It's coming on the Scania. That was a color that did not blend or go well with the very dark. Alright, definitely. That is very blue. That is extremely orange or something. I don't know what that's a very dark green. Okay, well, this might have been where we started out. It looks fine up close, but far away it looks... And there's not much... There's not contrast enough, or what you call it. Oh, that shade is pretty nice. When it hits it like that, yeah, the sunset. Okay, well, we keep it. Very good. They now have a little bit of iron. There, where is the coal coming? Yes. You're loading. This is very slow. This method of loading the coal onto the truck. Yes, and if you wanted to do anything about that, where would you want to? Well, one could say that, yeah, you would have to do it up here because it's now that we need it. We won't even need it later on. God, man. Right, so we could have it here. How is that difficult? I think it will speed up the process of making steel, maybe in the long run, if we can. Yeah, it will. Conveyors will lead to more quicker steel, and so on. Yes, therefore you're building one of these truck aggregate loading S. That's a very good spot for it, if it really. Okay, it's on a click. I'm not sure I'm trusting that this road will actually exist. Oh, it did. Okay, well, fine. I was going to complain. I think it's time we changed the order of business here a bit, that you actually do auto searching of everything. Yes. Oh, you got going on very many things here now. Lots of conveyors and things. No, I don't think so. What's this? Yes, that's correct. What's this then? I don't know. We did not order this. The hell is this? That... Huh? It could help if we closed down a few windows. Is this one? Oh, yes, we need you. We want you. Very good. Anything else? Unfinished conveyor here? No unnecessary conveyors, please. This is the same one from a different angle. What the hell? No. Now I'm properly confused here. What the hell is this? No, stop. This is not something that you want to be building. This stuff? No. No. Nothing of this should be. Good. We did. They didn't bring any resources. See, there's a road here now. Very good. we can pump workers into the mine via a future town, perhaps. Who knows? We should also be thinking about food production. It's important, after all, which means growing crops. Eventually, but the first 5-year plan is actually about to end. We started in March in 1960, and the steel mill is actually finished. But they have coal. They have is time we open it. Yes, we managed to get the steel mill up line within the first 5 years. 5-year plan here. Very good. Who would have thought it? Okay, you got going on this. Not necessarily what you want right now. There might be a few more things that this picked up that it was not supposed to have picked up. Unfinished roads. How is that bit? And the iron mine. Good. Okay, the first steel is being produced. Lovely. We actually want to buy a truck for this and have a dedicated one feeding steel, getting steel from here into this place for the time being. Wouldn't happen to have Scania make one of those too, maybe. That would be an open hull. No, they don't. Scania Obvious does not make one of those, apparently. That's okay. East, what do you have? Open hull. Preferably something quite capable. 13 tons. 4.5. 12. It's going to be this one. You go from the steel mill and you wait until loaded, and you then go to this place, unload, go off with you. This place could get quite busy, or is quite busy. Yes, are we in the such a phase that we can afford like a road cargo station? That would be quite fancy. We have a dirt road out to the place here. Yeah, that's even more than why we need this, which is terribly not at all the way that we need it to. Would have preferred it to be configured. Also, the terrain here is in a slight configuration that is not preferred. These road cargo stations are so damn large. And they always seem to be orientated the wrong way for me. I don't know. I'm doing something wrong. Probably looking at the game from the wrong angle, maybe. But that's not right. Bus platform. No, you want what's it? A road cargo station. Yes, it's sort of the same thing, but for things instead of people. Yep, that's one of those. I think we could get the proper road in here too, whilst we're at it. I mean, I don't know if we could call this proper, but it's we need a paved road to these things. However, we cannot interrupt service to these things. There was one to do. We do a scout of yes. There we go. Is there something that we want to be building now? I don't know. Is it complicated? This doesn't seem... This stuff we have... excellent. That means that my unmanned road building thing can also do factory connections. Haven't thought about that, but yes. That's how it is. Okay, how much steel have we made so far? 6.5 tons. Not bad. You're missing coal. Not surprised. I don't think that the distribution office is going to cut it. No, but as before we have this, it really matter so much. Now this was really stupid because the trucks will only load from here. That's a real stupid system. Yes, but it also ensures supply to the power plant, which is quite a buffer for the power plant. We maybe should think of rearranging this conveyor connection and put it before the buffer for the and have this as a a battery, almost a fuel storage for the power plant. But can we make this work? No, but it might be an optimization. There is not really a connection available to do that. Oh, that's what we used for this, and they have all the stuff already and so on, and are about to be finished. So, yeah, well, it depends because you cannot set a priority on these. We don't know. I started to get to like the idea of having. Well, you know what? we can have it like this until such time that this loading thing is no longer required, and then we can tear it down and pull it to here. Maybe possibly should not build this until it is confirmed that it will. It could actually work. Not immediately, maybe, but with an extra tower, it could work. I'm thinking quite far ahead now. Yes, that's within the next 5-year plan. We now have a coal-eating steel mill, which, if they could, they need to finish the road first. Okay. Sources without steel, sources without mechanical components. Okay, we need to buy a bit of mechanical components then. To have a factory for those yet. We should maybe get one, although that's a bit ambitious maybe for this town. We should maybe not cram too many things in here. We have the steel mill, that's plenty. And power plant. Yes, how do we get the coal more quickly and efficiently to the steel mill? That was not what we're supposed to do. It was something else. What might have been, I don't know what that was. No. But dumpers. Okay, I would have these. If we can have 2. And we'll do a line, but you can do the line because it's not finished yet here. That road. Though it's pretty close. Yeah, we're getting good at this. Yeah, there goes some coal for the steel mill. Very good. But I think, is it the right priority to get the iron mine before we get... Yes, it is. And then build all the conveyors, truck it for a bit. Well, it will do something, I figure. Right. But the first truck has not left yet, has it? I think so. It takes a little while. Yes, a line for coal. This is coal. Coal. Steel. There's coal for the steel. Steel. From here. But from here for now. And there. Load. Yeah, we have to do it this way, and then once applied to yes, to a vehicle, it will present the options. Should we wait? No, I don't think. Steel mill, what is this? Unload. Why are you moving so incredibly slowly? What's your excuse for this? Oh no, you're behaving yourself. Yeah, I think that sometimes when they're driving on dirt roads, they don't quite understand that they have gotten to a real, proper road. It takes them a while, sometimes, or something. Or I'm speaking rubbish, but it's completely possible too. Yes, mechanical components is definitely something that should be maybe a priority. Perhaps not a priority, but it should be something. Out here, it is customary to place it real close to the steel mill. It is not necessary. Can I even do that? I cannot do that. We have not done research. We need to do research to do mechanical components. Is that not that so? Metallurgy. Where is it? The hell? It's engineering, maybe. No. This is various industry. What the hell? This is quite rare. That wood cutting post, fabric. Yes, indeed. It is. How many hours did you have you played this game for and you don't know how it works? Know how it works, sort of. Ta-da, look at this. I have built. Yes, but we cannot build a mechanical components factory. However, in the future town, up ahead, here we actually have planned a little university and sorts of things. You know, just this pipe is 56 tons of steel, and this is 73. How much are we making? Domestic production. A new vehicle, a rail builder of some kind. Not quite at the scale of railroads, I don't think. And where would we go? I have the stuff here. Consumption of resources. Industry. No production of resources is what you want. Steel. 14 tons. It should mean that the truck is off, and it is off. There it is. The first steel produced. imported iron, admittedly, but still. What thing will be as small construction office? What? When did I approve this thing? It's not approved consciously. It's a grandfather in, you can say. Yeah, they have already brought. But just, we can have it. Yes. Okay, and this, are you sure about this? No. Okay, so was there no one else interested in steel? I missed this. 0.16 tons. Two tons for an open storage. You're the truck actually bringing the steel. I see. That's it. Okay, that means that we can start. No, yes, buying mechanical components. That was a thing. A little while ago, it was a thing, and now it's a thing again. Yes, it's it's making progress now. Great. Iron, 36 tons, 20 tons of coal. Good. This is excellent. How's the iron mine coming? They're missing mechanical components, but that's fine. We have apparently imported a few, or they're on their way. Not there though. Yes, we're turning coal into mechanical components. Here is what is happening. Cheers. And it's pretty, it works quite well. Admittedly, we do need quite a few things for that to happen. There's the coal mine, there are conveyors, there's a second system here to feed that. Yes, that might not be necessary, come to think of it, if we do this. No. Oh, yes, we shall see what comes. Farming should be a thing. It's too late for this year in either case, but it should still be a thing. Yes, it should still be a thing. Where should we have the first farm? The first fields? Here is a really nice spot. There is oil. Yes, we could have a farm, or we could have oil derricks here. Yes, what should we go for? Pump jack. They've changed. It said oil rig before. Or another pump jack. Very good. Yes, there's quite a lot of oil here. It would be a shame not to pump. We need. I mean, look at how this expensive this stuff is. Fuel. That is March, and 7,000. This is quite good. 116,000 we made from burning coal in the power plant. Excellent. especially since we don't use very much ourselves. See here, it's all running on this circuit. 360 kilowatts about. Although the staffing poor, as the staffing is poor, the voltage is not keeping up. It's not okay. Come on, people. Why is there a problem or something? Could be that they're all working at the steel mill, but there are people here. Yeah, the buses are probably all bunched up. Okay, something coming. Workers are coming. Here they are. And something, yeah, it's happening. No, that's the power plant. Yeah, it's happening. "15 workdays for the groundworks." Yeah, that sounds easy. Well, it isn't that difficult really, but if we could get a digger in, it would be a whole lot easier, because doing it by hand. Well, they are equipped with a shovel. We can see clearly from the icon here. So at least they have a shovel, but still, we have. Do we not? I suppose they're busy. He's on his way. He did not take a ride on this, for example. No. Very unfortunate. What the hell? That's quite far away. If you are going to call truck aggregate low, I mean, they're going to be finished by the time you get there. Seriously, this. How the hell did you end up out here? They seem to all be out here. What is this? They're going to the new construction office. What is this? I have trucks to transport these. Why aren't you? Anyway, it might show up. Oh, there's a new locomotive available. See why I don't play with this thing on. Free People's Republic introduced a new type of vehicle to the market, available for purchase using rubles. Oh, thank you so much. Excellent. For those who are interested in such things. This is actually working quite well. The second truck is about to be finished here. We used we have used it all. Here, for example, 50 tons. Oh, and you have gotten going on this. But yeah, might as well 200 tons of steel you need. 200. Fine. Yes. And what are you waiting around for here? All the things. Iron. Yes, this is regrettable when we end up in a situation like this and get behind on things, such as it happens right now. Could you be at least on your way? Apparently, yes. And you too, very good. How is this managing? Okay, it's quicker to sell electricity than it is to load iron onto the truck, I presume. Must be the case. And okay, another 16 tons of iron here, very good. How much is that's 674 dollars. That's quite affordable, considering what the iron mine costs. But then, in the long run, yes, and also quite a matter of pride, I think, having our own iron, in our own steel, in our own buildings. So, yes, at least we're using our own coal, which is not. There isn't any for the moment. Are you finished with this yet? No. Because the digger has not arrived and the people have gone home. Oh look, you're here. But you are from this place. This is where you belong. How the hell did you end up all the way out by the... Maybe you had been working on the iron mine or something. I see you're out of fuel, and why didn't you refuel in between workplaces? No. I really hope they have been teasing something. I think they have something on this coming. A fix for this. I would like a fuel truck that could go around to workplaces and supply the vehicles there with fuel or something. Such that we wouldn't need to have these driving around on the roads for fuel. That's completely stupid and unrealistic. Hello, if you have a work site with heavy machinery, damn it, you have diesel on site. You don't take the heavy machinery out on the road and go down to the local garage or what you have. No. You have a little truck come, or you have diesel on site if you have a big thing. Or you have a truck come and then fill you up. Or if it's right across the road, maybe. So you can take your excavator into the petrol station. No. You don't see that often, I don't think. No. That's it. One dig with the shovel, there is what you did, and then you went home. Okay, so you'll go home now and refuel, and then maybe you'll come back. Excellent. There is no bus coming. What's wrong with this place? Well, it doesn't have that many buses, and that's been intentional, because it drained all the people from the coal industry, and it still will probably. Also, actually, they don't have any stuff on site. That's poor. What's that? All that remained on the groundworks, maybe. That one dig with the shovel. It literally made it at the same moment when they were finished. I think that's what's happened. That's what has transpired here. These could also be prefab panel, but the brick factory is. And prefab panels, if you want to do that style, but maybe we should. There are things in here, residential. We have where These are not bad. Pretty large. But they're nice. Spire house, Beer house 1 mirror. Don't remember the same thing, but yeah, very good. Would that be something for this? Yeah. Perhaps not. These 250 workers. Okay. It could be interesting. But they don't do... Okay, they take a few prefab panels, but mostly bricks. Yeah. So the brick factory would be of interest. DPRK mansion. Quality of flats 99%. The Democratic Peoples of Republic Korea's Democratic People Republic Korea. Pardon me. To all North Koreans watching. No, Koreans, yes, of course. Should we house the workers in these? There is, maybe. They take many bricks, 185 tons apiece, and only do 60 workers. This will be a low density place, but we can squeeze a whole lot in, I think. I think we can, but in here it should be foot access. Only these have a road. I mean, it's not strictly necessary to connect the road, but if they have a road connection, I am sort of the opinion that it should be connected. Have to be a bit about that. Yes. Now, these could be placed really tightly if we did some terrain leveling. We can try the new two and see what happens. Nice, it gets completely flat. Where did it go? Where did it go? Hello? Ampere Brickhouse Corner. That's not it. There it is. Something like this. Not too tightly. If we want, yes, we want the footpath in. And now they no longer have electricity. For the with current infrastructure. Would presume it gets expanded in time. One would, perhaps, but it's also necessary to keep in mind the distance to the shop, which may be becoming a bit. Why did you put them so far apart? I don't know. Just did. The shop is over there. I think it will be fine. Yes. Not quite knowing what will be here when we do this. One could pre-flatten this before putting one of those on it, and to this point, I believe. Yes. And then we try smooth. No, it's too close to the existing things. And so we can make check the intersection with the road. Put that in first. Of course. There'll be a lot of fiddling here. It might take them a while. No, not quite yet, though. Thank you. Too sharp of a turn. That's the closest. Okay. What do you mean too sharp a turn? Ah, fine. There we go. That is questionable. Very, very questionable. If one were to have a road with lamps instead through here, is it possible to have a road with lamps through here? It could be. Possible to have a road. It's possible to have a road. Oh, you know what? Then we're having a road with lamps. It increases the range that they will walk. Yeah, we couldn't make a nice curve. We could make. That's no. So remove. That's unfortunate. What? Did maybe not get rid of all of it? Oh, did that? That's not. Well, there we are. Anyway, yeah, you get going on that, and some. Yeah, you would hook up there. Okay. Thank you. I'll take it out here. Yeah, we can start doing the fiddly bits too. That's not ever going to happen. Neither is that. Okay. And like here we'd also like something, but that's for later. We don't want to intersect with the road. We can take from there. Yeah, but why? Uh, 15 tons of coke. How are you doing here? We're actually eaten into the coal reserves ever so slightly. Ever so slightly. Yeah, well, and a bit. Maybe, one could say. Okay. Yeah. Yes. That's very, very steep. Can't get any closer. There we are at the heating plant, not the steel mill. That's important too. That's in fact very, very, very important. Although it is March, so late March is 18 degrees. Nice. It's less important, but still quite a good thing to have. People started, yeah, they have cut down on the drinking and gotten sporty instead. Very good. They still have quite a high so-called government loyalty. This always drops to 0, but so far. You put something in to cheer them on. Well, before no, we should have a better road. Yeah, a better road might cheer them up. Actually, this should be an intersection here. Crossing is not allowed. Crossing is allowed. One could remove this footpath maybe. People are liking it right now. They will find different ways. And also they will find the future brighter. Through here. Very good. Now, you cannot do it that way, but you can do it if there is enough room to no from there. Yes, there's not enough space to hook up onto. Oh, careful. I still have a dirt path here, but they don't walk on it, and do they? Oh, no money. Okay, how is this coming along? No, not very long. Not very long. No worker mechanism here, and. Lacking in steel and concrete. As you're missing iron. As you see, this is not going to work out very well. No, that's going to work out very poorly. We have a second option down there. Yes, it's just way further to drive for everyone involved, since they're all going to these places. And the iron thing is temporary. Yes, but now this problem will most likely only escalate. We could make an infusion into the bank balance by dropping off a load of steel here. Oh. And unload. Thank you. What has been bought that has been so expensive that we have ended up in this situation? It's mechanical components, as they are very, very expensive. And they're basically steel, but half as dense. No. It takes 2 tons of steel to make 1 ton of mechanical components and work. That's why it's so expensive. Yes, but we couldn't build that. No, we can't, because we need to all this stuff first. Within the next 5-year plan is this town, Sargrad. Suppose. Stalingrad. Är det? That's not exactly the center of town, but it will do. It's slightly wonky, and the town is slightly wonky too. But all this crap that we need here. And this, yeah, that's a damned heating plant. 73 tons. Everything is measured here in how much steel it costs or takes to make. And meanwhile, one truck is now heading for the border. This ought to make for quite an fusion once it gets it there, but it's very busy at the border. Very, very busy at the border. Yes, this model that we have here of importing stuff in this fashion and exporting stuff to, it is not really scalable beyond a certain point, and that point has been reached. You're buying mechanical components. You see, we have steel to trade. Now, that should increase the speed here quite significantly. Look at this now. There we go. That's more like it. That was a whole truck of steel. How many days or weeks did that take to do? In the time it took to drive to the border and a bit, they made 1.4 tons. When they have the stuff on hand, which they rarely do, means that we could probably lower this. It's apparently the smallest amount we can have. Okay. Missing iron, but you got some coal now. Dun, 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 dun. Missing resources, steel. Okay, 45 tons you need. No worker or mechanism. Why wouldn't you send a worker or mechanism here? Is it too far? No. Don't know. Then. Yeah, so that steel truck may have made quite an exchange for those mechanical components, but that's about all it lasted for. And we're down to very low margins here. Really don't want to end up in the situation where we don't have enough to buy what we want to buy for the time being. Then we end up with the queue, and eventually we die because the food is in here and we actually don't keep that much around. We should increase the amount that we keep in stock. Maybe not important. Maybe more important is trying to get our very own food production online. That's probably what we'd want to be doing. Such as some place around here. Maybe it will be fire protected from here. That's good. Yeah, in this direction there is no oil, nor anything else of interest really, other than wonderful dirt to to farm. Is the word you're looking for. Just going to get rid of the remnants of the old path here that might have been in use for centuries and even perhaps millennia. Now it is but a memory. If anyone has ever I was thinking about farm layouts. Basically the number of fields that you can have many fields for a farm, but the number of vehicles that the farm has is a limiting factor. And know from experience that we can use distribution offices to pick up crops from the fields. Therefore, one could, instead of the trucks going towards the truck slots at the farm, going towards trucks to pick up crops in the fields, they could go to tractors and harvesters, I believe. Yes. Therefore, the grain silo should maybe not even be there. No, we should sort of think about yes, food industry too. That means that we'd want to have something a bit more flexible, perhaps. Here, what's this? What do you have? Large storehouse. No, is there anything that besides the enormous thing that takes both crops and meat, that one can have an integrated one of those things? I don't know. Not really. Small combined vehicle storage. Okay, there's a small one. What do you say about this then? This doesn't look terrible. Oh, this might actually do rather well. As you see, I'm already thinking ahead here with all the things that one could have here. The food factory, for example. That's very large. I know, but still. But how is it here? How do people walk to this place? Okay. Though remember to not go ahead quite yet. And we'd want livestock farm. Also quite large indeed. Yes, ideally one would want to only need to drop the workers off at one and the same place. However, that's not going to happen with this setup. We will have to drop workers off at more than one place. I think we can manage. Very good. We have a bus stop in here. No, but we can have it out here. Should maybe flatten out this a bit first. It is. There we go. aren't you? Isn't this taking it? Are we anywhere near this? No, we should do fields. I mean, this is not going to happen for a while. And think carefully about where you connect this road for safety. I think that we will connect it to here. So as not to interfere with future plans of the town. None of you are... No. Yes, we can build that, but this is most likely too far to be. It's a long way before they have made it out there. Yep, it is wide. I say we are caught up on the money for a bit. That's good. How is that and why is that? We have 20 tons of mechanical components in storage. Very good. You mainly need steel here right now. And they are missing coal. Oh, would it be a bulldozer that is going to the petrol station maybe? Yes, holding everyone up. It seems many are going here. Yeah, it's we don't have a generous amount of these. Let's put it that way. Where should we? Wouldn't it be nice to have one here? It would be nice if it is possible or not, though. That remains to be seen. That's about as much as we can do. Yes. If we could even get the road in from the existing thing. And we can. Yes, it's taking shape. Undecided on what to do. Yes, about food. Yes, food. I think a separate road from this side or end of town, or how you'd want to put it. Like not quite that far with such fancy roads to thereabouts. We could just go for it. The idea was to swing by the farm, and we had to put a little kink in the road in. Might be very unwise to have such a short bit of road in front of the farm, but yes, this is also quite fancy farm road. Yes, but it will all make sense. You see, it will be a through road, maybe, or something. We don't know. And for for a farm, you should also get one of these. Somewhere close by, like that. And yeah, of course, that was the point of this. The point. No, it was not the point, but it was something that we wanted. That's the distribution office storage. Medium distribution office. Seems quite large. It is quite large. Yes. But we're going to build a construction office out here so that we can. It's quite justified at this point. Yes, we've gotten all the way to here without one. Maybe even put it out here to have most range construction office. That's that one of these. A temporary road. There we go. Get going. Yes, it is riveting, is it not? No, not really. Well, that's how it is. Yeah, we. Hold on. It says here that the skivan är nästan full. The disk is almost full. No, it's not. There's 3 gigabytes remaining. What the hell are you screaming about? 3 gigabytes? That's a lot. Yes, it is. Depending on what we're doing, but in this case it is a lot. It ought to be a lot unless the computer decides to do something else than record the audio here. You never know what they get up to, these machines. They have plenty of stuff going on. That's good, they already got here. Very nice. Now you see, this looks real good because the above ground kind of thing, structure, yes, is finished. There's 3,000 workdays to go. Here comes the bus. 9 work. Okay. Oh, really? That's short on workers here. So this place, we're starting to outgrow this town slightly, and it's getting a bit polluted here too. Apparently, that came out of nowhere. It might have come out of this place if, given enough time. Lifespan is not that great, but they're happy and healthy. I'm not complaining about a whole lot of things. I'm procreating too. Yes. How's this looking? This is depressing. Every winter, or no, not every winter. I don't know why this escapes. Birth rate is going up. Very good. Immigrants is at a steady rate. So that's all good. Let's see here. If we take this year, it's April. Yeah, it's the 20th of April. And this is not good statistics. No. This number is higher than this number. You see. However, it might be people out in the countryside dying, maybe, or there might be people dying here because of the fumes from. You see, the steel mill is not going at such a rate that it's a problem. Really, I think it's this place. As the epicenter of the pollution is the heating plant. There's a steel mill. It's all green from this end. But we have $28,000 in the bank. I think that's quite a bit. However, come on. I mean, it's going to take the time it's going to take to make this stuff. Your maximum production is 43 tons per workday, but your current rate is like 3%. It's not a lot. But you're about to get ready here. Hello, you have left the headlights on. Or you put them on maybe now that when it became dark, but don't run the battery flat. Maybe you're idling here whilst you're waiting. That would be a bad choice considering that it takes a while to fill you up. Here or load you up. But no, they don't idle actually because they don't use any fuel whilst standing still. Airplanes do it though. Not when parked, but when standing still in a taxiing maneuver. That's good. That's realism. Did you bring coal? Very good. What's not realistic, however, is that they make the passengers and cargo of the plane wait until they have refueled the plane for the next flight until they can get off. Which is a bit rude and inconsiderate and inefficient and unrealistic. God damn it. Imagine that would be pretty stupid. No, you can't get off the plane yet. Yeah, but we landed. It's right there. Why can't we get out? Because we have to refuel it first. Yes, but you can maybe do that later. Or meanwhilst. No, you have to wait here. Maybe I suppose they could hold people hostage for the bill for the fuel, but I think that they usually have agreements on these sort of things beforehand within the operational parameters of the airline. It's probably easier to do it that way. Why isn't this finished yet? Because there are no workers here. There is something up with this stuff that is only sends workers to a workplace that it really likes. Which appears to be this place for the time being. And the steel is already gone. This is the last chance to buy the DRG class SVT 137. There is television, fy fan. Not going to buy this. SVT, no. That's bad for you. SVT, that's real bad for you. What's this then? That's a little truck, a little dumper here with asphalt. 7 tons for a road. It's usually what we have asphalt for. We don't have many of these. Oh, no, that's a bit of a dangerous overtake maneuver, but apparently you made it. And then you drove on the wrong side of the road for a bit, for some reason. This is not bad. You lost a lot of speed in that corner. Fine. I mean, if we now the vehicle's maximum speed here of 60 kilometers per hour is starting to show a bit when we have actually paved roads and so on. 60 kilometers per hour appears to be your maximum speed. Doesn't feel very quick. And it isn't. Also, you're probably going to have to wait here for a while until something arrives, a paver or a thing. And there is a paver coming. Here he is. You can do it. Although you are carrying an incredibly small amount of whatever it is that you asphalt. 330 kilograms. $15 or 13 rubles worth. Good, efficient use of things. So, such as this too. Driving itself here, but it will be there eventually. And when it is, this road on here, they're good, great. They're working on this too. They've even gotten a bit of a ways on it. This will take a few months maybe to complete. Yep, that's all good. I thought I saw a question mark over here, but no, I did not. Power plant, going good. This thing is still not finished. Huh. No, they refuse to bring workers here, and then it's going to be difficult to get it done, I'd say. Which is unfortunate, because you keep bringing workers to work sites where they don't have resources, such as this one, especially this one, where they don't have any steel. Whilst you could bring it to work sites that have resources, such as this one. Right, I remember now. This is why. Oh, you're not finished with this one either, of course. No. Damn it. The reason for this construction office was to have it only buses, and in situations like these, don't have it auto search for anything, but only have buses, and when you need something done, all the things are already there, such as in this case. You could tell that construction office to focus their attention on this project, and therefore it would probably be done. However, No, because we're waiting for steel. Actually, we managed to supply slightly more resources than we use, but the next step up is twice as many, which is unnecessary, considering circumstances. Yes. There is, and all of the things here are finished. Very good. Okay, road cargo station and construction offices. Should we? No. Although it is real busy here, it may be good. It is a good idea to build this. Yes, but we have such a steel deficit. Can't in good consciousness to be doing this. But good news, because there is a new load coming. Fresh off out of the smelter or something. There we go. 13 tons. 12 and a bit, I would think. Yes. This road is a bit unfortunate. Oh crap, I'm still selling all the steel. That's why the money, that's not intentional. I'll stop it now. Now, ugh. Now you got all sorts of things here. Fan. What the hell do we do now? Fine. Go there. Unload steel. This is why it's been standing still for quite some time now. What the hell are you doing? You're still loading crap here. Stop it. Yes, then after you have been here and unloaded the steel, you go there and you unload all that, a little bit of everything. Yes, 320 tons of uranium oxide, 220 kilograms, 220 kilograms of wood, 200 kilograms of bricks. Oh, you can unload the bricks while you're here. It's and the boards too, and the prefab panels too. It's mostly the wood and the aluminium that we don't want, and the uranium oxide we also could stand without. Here we go. How much steel have we sold this year unintentionally? 42 tons. That would have been quite useful in the iron mine and the iron ore processing plants. Wood. But this ensures that we do not have a queue here for a while, at least. That's good. This is also good. Here we have something. You will go to some street lamps. Out here. How nice. Yes. This is 1 hour 40 minutes. It's time always drags on. But that's because it takes so goddamn long time. This, yes. But the first 5-year plan is done. We are making steel. We have great plans for the future here. But it'll take a while. And the rubles, what are we going to do with those? I don't know. It could be a bit difficult on ourselves and reset them to naught, but that's very unnecessary. This was a medium economy starter. I got $1 million, yes, and I had to borrow like 600 or something thousand in total. Yes, and I was only a little bit behind on the payments. Almost made all the payments on time. Yes. And this we cannot keep enough workers in here to keep it going, you know, at absolute maximum potential. But it's something. The steel mill is now part of the same electrical grid as the town, and the same circuit from the power plant here is this one, somewhere around there. Yes, but it's okay at this rate. You see, that's what happened. There was absolutely no point to bring in more workers because now we ran out of coal. Also, probably fewer people working, or yes, fewer people getting on the bus for the coal industry and power industry, which is bad. Could you please stop bringing people here? At least, or maybe not stop, but bring people some other place too. This is something up with this. It has not behaved like this. It has not been this stupid before. No, must be something in this build game. Or something. I don't know. The price of coal ore on the global markets rises up. That's okay, we make our own. Is it probably such a dramatic increase that it's worth selling? No, it's probably not. God damn it, could you bring a few workers here? För helvetes jävla spel. Helvete. Yeah, the sources without steel. I know, but you have places here where they have all the things and only need a bit of workforce. If you could be so bothered, but you can't. No, but we can cancel this since you're obviously quite obsessed with that particular construction for the moment. They put that on hold. And see what happens. Since we don't have the steel anyways. Could you please bring someone here? No. We could give them more buses. Could be a dangerous thing to do too. Or dangerous, not very dangerous, but maybe not an optimal thing to do. Say. I think we're actually starting to have quite a positive growth of the populations here. Oh. Yes, we do. And what about... Yeah, what about nothing? This will have to be enough. What's in the next 5-year plan? Iron industry, yes, and a few conveyor belts. Quite a few conveyor belts. Brick factory would also be quite good. yes, that actually might be something that we should start working on. Not that bricks are that expensive. Although we have no use for it until we have built all these conveyors. And we need more workers. Look at this. And even with trucks only, we managed to drain our coal supply quite decently. That's because there are not enough workers. Epidemic situation report. Seems we are impacted by serious infection causing patients severe complications or even death. Disease is highly infectious and our health system may even collapse. The World Health Organization released a warning about global infection. We expect long duration. This sounds pretty damn bad. Impact, yeah, usually she's wearing a gas mask now or something. The nurse here usually shows her face when it's not so bad, when it's the seasonal flu or something. This time she looks, we don't even know who this is. Oh, that's damn chauvinistic of me assuming that she's a nurse because she's a woman. No, it's because she has the cap, on her head, that thing. I don't know. She's a nurse. That's how it is. And gender has very little to do with it. Maybe. This is good. The iron mine is... You're speaking so much rubbish. I don't even know what it is. That you're... no. Never mind. But this is going. No. That's good. Because when we have our own iron, we could make more steel. But we couldn't because we need more coal. And to get that we need more miners. And to get that we need more houses. And to do all those things we need... Fan. It's not. It's what it is. We need more steel. Now we're making steel, but we need to make more of it. If this is going to go anywhere. See? Did you get started on the brick factory? No. That requires 30 tons of steel, yes. It all requires... Yeah, but you surmised that there was very little point to this until such time that we have this and this, and when that we cannot have until we have this, because then we were supposed to tear down this place, which they still haven't sent the goddamn bus to. No, now they're all out at the iron mine here. Yes. Hello, colleague. What's the matter? No, that would not be advisable to walk while you're looking to. You can walk here. Yes, out here. Quite well. Out there. No, that's not going to work. No, that's not going to go well. Hello. Yes, no, now you're stepping on. You see, that didn't work well. At least you realized that it didn't work. And turned around. Yes, but you... Come on. Come here. No. You see? Yes, here. There you go. And thank you for your assistance. If you could keep a little bit more distance there. Yes. There we go. There you are. Yes. Very good. Good colleague. Yeah, this is not going to go quickly. We have stated this fact now many times, over and over and over, and it's not going to change. This is just what it is. Yes, and they don't send any buses here. No, they all go here now instead. Of course they do. Something is up with this. Maybe it's only the largest workplaces that get workers sent to them or something. Oh, that's not good. You have a lot of unfinished roads here, and these would be quite nice. You know, we've been waiting a while. Yep, that will have to be it then. Yeah. EHRM 4 indeed. 15th of May of 1965. There is really not a whole lot to do but to wait. Well, that's the point. That was the point, wasn't it? Yes, we can see construction in action. Although it's all down to this. This is the bottleneck. Or, well, not the truck itself, but this thing. And keeping it supplied with coal is going to be... the simple matter of the fact is that we need more workers. We could put up another one of these, maybe. Could this town support? We might be stretching it a bit thin on the doctor's office and on the tiny university. Yes, but we do get a few. Managed to get university educated here. So I think we're fine. Yes, we're fine now, but if we put in yet another one, will we still be fine? That's uncertain. How are these people doing with their health? 55 years old is their average lifespan, and not a whole lot of people living here actually. It's a very bad place to live, apparently. Can't imagine why. But okay, if we try and get in one town, one kind of building. Maybe. At least for the time being. Are you telling me that you won't have electricity if I place you here? Yes. Or no, you won't have electricity. There you will. Then that we cannot have you there. Outside of map borders. This road, is that strictly necessary? No, not strictly, but it's good because the slow vehicles actually use the dirt road instead of the main road. Okay. So far this epidemic doesn't seem so bad. Did you die or did you get healthy? I don't know. Has health been affected this year? Not noticeably so far. Okay. These random events, global events, they were called. One might have thought that there might have been some sort of game mechanic hidden in that, you know, so sort of tied to something sort of objective like and such, but no, random outbreaks of illness and slight price fluctuations for up to months at a time. Anywho, I think that has to be it now. You have to have this. Is it that late? Crap. Yes, then it will definitely have to be it. Cheers, there's a little bit left here. There we go. Wait for the steel. Thank you so much for watching. Good night.